From holding Britney responsible for Victor's disappointing debut, to fans struggling to pick sides between all the drama, here's how the NBA world reacted to Victor Wembanyama and Britney Spears' beef. They claim all the drama is too much for Victor and it's distracting him on court, which is why he gave such a disappointing performance at his first Summer League game. Wembanyama was the #1 overall NBA draft pick for 2023, and fans had high expectations from him and the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, this guy was considered the best prospect since LeBron James. And he was also MVP in France's L&B Pro A-League, where he led his team to the finals. The poor kid was facing sky-high expectations. Tickets were sold out at the Thomas & Mack Center in Las Vegas before the game even started, marking only the second time it's happened in Summer League history. And fans knew it'd be an exciting match, because the Spurs were going up against the Charlotte Hornets. Sadly, Vic couldn't deliver, and he put on a disappointing performance as he struggled to get the ball in the basket, scoring only 9 points with 8 rebounds, 5 blocks, and 3 assists. Yeah, not the best stats. NBA fans blamed Britney for Vic's disappointing start, claiming that he was distracted because Britney was stirring up trouble for him. After Vic's game, Britney stans took to social media and trolled the poor guy, while his own fans tried their best to defend him, saying he was just having a bad day. But what's all this drama with Spears? Victor was a model citizen back in France, and these are his first few months in the NBA, so it's crazy to see him making headlines with Britney of all people. Turns out, Britney is a huge fan of Vic, and when she saw him at a restaurant on July 5th, 2023, she tapped him on the shoulder to ask if he'd take a picture with her. But there were already so many fans crowding Wembanyama, so his security was already panicking and pushing people away. But when they saw Brit touch Wembanyama, they smacked her hand away with so much force that it hit her face and made her sunglasses fall off. Of course, the security had no idea that it was Britney when they did that, but she's not letting them get away with it easily, even after they apologized to her. Despite everything that happened, Brit says she's still a huge fan of Wembanyama, but by no means is she letting this sort of reaction from the security slide. Of course, the other side of the story is very different. And according to Wembanyama, Spears grabbed him instead of tapping his shoulder. Well, too bad security footage proved him wrong. He also said that his security pushed Britney away. But again, the surveillance footage clearly shows that her hand hit her face. Victor had a very carefree attitude about the whole thing though, and he was laughing it off, saying he had no idea the person was Britney until he saw it in the news the next day. According to Wembanyama, he was walking with his security to a restaurant, and even though he was swarmed by fans, he could hear someone continuously call him. And that person then grabbed him from behind. Victor said that he was under strict instructions to keep walking straight, so he did just that, while his security got the person off him. Victor didn't care how much force they used because he was making a beeline for the restaurant and didn't stop to look. When he found out that it was Britney his security fought with, he thought they were joking and couldn't believe it. Britney didn't think it was funny though, and she released a statement on Twitter where she said the whole experience was traumatic for her. She denied Wembanyama's claim that she grabbed him from behind, and she had security footage to back her up because she can clearly be seen tapping his shoulder. In an emotional message to her fans, Britney said that she was no stranger to traumatic experiences, but she still wasn't prepared for what happened to her the night she tried to meet Victor. According to her, Wembanyama's security backhanded her in the face without even looking back. That too in front of a whole crowd. They hit her so hard that her sunglasses were knocked off her face. And while that's true, security footage shows that Vic's security didn't slap her. They only pushed her away with so much force that her own hand hit her face. Britney said that the story was really embarrassing to share with the world, but since it was out there already, she wanted to use her experience as an example to teach celebs how to treat people with respect. She talked about how physical violence is happening everywhere, often behind closed doors, and said that she stands with all the victims of violence. Spears ended off her message by saying that she still hasn't gotten a public apology from Wembanyama, the security, or the Spurs. While she's got a point, NBA fans took the opportunity to troll her, as a video of her after the incident went viral, where she can be heard screaming, "That's America for you, F you all." Britney responded to the clip by saying that she's been in the industry for decades and has met some of the most famous people in the world, including the Beatles and NSYNC. But she's never seen a security guard hit a fan throughout her career. Britney said that she wasn't trying to be the victim and admitted that she didn't have the best reaction with all that screaming. But she said that her reaction was how she felt, and it was a cry out on all levels, because she didn't feel like she was being treated equally. And even though she screamed, at least she didn't hit the guy back. She did try to slap him with a lawsuit though, as she called the police on the Spurs director of team security, Damian Smith, who she identified as the guy who backhanded her. The police investigated the incident, but when they looked at the security footage, it was clear that Britney's own hand hit her face, so her accusations of battery were pretty weak. I mean, she was going around telling people he backhanded her, so I guess it must have been humbling for her to see the footage as well. The police didn't charge him with any offense, saying that he didn't unlawfully use violence on Britney, so there was no reason to arrest the poor guy. But while the police are super clear whose side they're on, NBA fans are struggling, as half of them agree with Britney, while the other half are defending Victor. For Team Victor, the whole incident's been blown out of proportion, and many fans think that Britney has made it an ego issue. Her pride was hurt when she was treated like any other fan, and now she's taking revenge by making Wembanyama's life hell. Other fans agreed, pointing out that she exaggerated everything so much. One fan wrote that he thought she was knocked out cold or something, because of all the commotion that she was causing. But when he saw the security footage, he said that he'd been hit harder by his 3-year-old. Other fans also mocked Britney, saying that she had the main character syndrome, as they shared Victor's amused reaction. Other NBA fans were disgusted at how lightly everyone was handling the situation, as one fan asked whether it was okay to beat women in America now. I don't know, does this really qualify as a case of gendered violence? Fans pointed out how Victor had such a laid-back attitude to the whole incident, and how instead of publicly apologizing, he was talking about how funny it was. Yeah, he's not the one who slapped her, but fans think the least Vic could do was apologize, because it was his security guard who hit Britney. His fans defended him though, and pointed out that Vic never said that the act of slapping a woman is funny. He found the overall situation funny, and the fact that the girl who was pushed away by his security was Britney Spears. After all, he's still pretty new to the whole fame thing, and I bet he can't believe that Britney is fighting to get a pic with him. Some of Victor's fans asked people to cut him some slack, because English isn't his first language, and if he's coming across as carefree and laid back in an interview, it might be because he can't find the right words. Most fans were pretty much stuck in the middle though, and didn't choose any sides. They agreed with Britney that no security guard should ever hit a woman, but they also pointed out that whatever happened was not Victor's fault, so his security should be blamed. And it's unfair the poor kid's being dragged into the mess. So there you have it. From fans struggling to pick sides between all the drama, to them holding Britney responsible for Victor's disappointing debut, that's how the NBA world reacted to Victor Wembanyama and Britney Spears' beef.